Hey guys, Rob Davis here, One Blue Robot, and I'm excited to be with Nicole Davis. No relation, she just has an awesome last name. She is owner and coach trainer of Body Strong. It's a kettlebell-based core and strength conditioning program. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so we're excited to be here.
I love the kettlebell. I fell in love with it a few years ago and helped kind of rehab my shoulder and a shoulder injury with kettlebells. And so I am using it to help strengthen and condition people that come to me, to my classes, one-on-one for their training.
You're a CrossFit coach as well.
Right.
Is that okay for us to say in front of your other clients?
I think so.
Okay. So you started tell us a little bit about how you got started in CrossFit. 'Cause it was a long time ago, kind of in the early days when I was even getting started.
Right. So I happened upon CrossFit. I think I can say the name.
You can say it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Wasatch CrossFit up in Layton.
Which happens to be a great friend of mine, Damon Stewart, who
you know
owned that
Damon?
box at the time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
shout out to Damon Stewart.
Right. So heard about the grand opening there, traveled up to Layton. I did the 300 workout and I was hooked. I was instantly hooked.
Okay, so you're a certified personal trainer.
Yep.
You have certifications in CrossFit. You have kettlebell certifications. And I'm assuming that you do individual training as well as group training. Tell me about that.
Yes, I do. So I'll take someone one-on-one and just help them meet their goals. Some people are coming off the couch. They have different skill levels, ability. Other people, they want to get stronger. Other people, like one of my recent clients, he has a movie shoot and just wants to bulk up, look good, but he still needs to get stronger and healthier in one of his shoulders. So it's really customized, and I just take whatever they need into account and build a program based upon that.
With a kettlebell-based program, that can be kind of frightening for some people.
Right.
Yet the benefits are just incredible of core stability, right? This core to extremity approach. So what do you tell someone, probably especially the ladies, that are thinking, the two most common questions I'm going to guess, number one is, are those safe because they look scary, and am I going to bulk up?
Right.
You probably get those, right? So how do you address that? What do you tell them?
You know, first off, I tell ladies, strength and muscle is not a bad thing for women, okay? Yes, you will get stronger. You're not necessarily going to look like these men with the huge muscles. Hey, we all want a nice booty, right? So these kettlebells are the best thing that you can do for those hips. Also, we sit a lot, okay? Most of us sit a lot during the day. So this actually, kettlebell swing is a great way to open up the hip flexors in the front and strengthen the glutes and hamstrings in the back.
So I might get in trouble for this, but I'm gonna say that Nicole is about to turn 40.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guarantee it. I guarantee that if you look at her now, you wouldn't know that, right? Because you look fantastic.
Thank you.
You look fantastic. So, and the thing is, so she is a very fit athlete, right? And a lot of women would say, oh, if I could just look like her, but as fit as she is, you can see in her muscular, you're not the big bulky, you know, it's like, it's just your genetics, your physiology, right? And you look great. And so sometimes women kind of get afraid of that, right? Especially if they see a lot of pictures in the CrossFit world or the big fitness world. A lot of times these women look much, much bigger because they're very lean, very defined. Then you see them in person, you realize, well, that actually looks really good, right? But even if it's not that, so much of that is nutrition as well.
Very true.
So speaking of nutrition, what do you do with your clients, because that is such a big part of training, what do you do with nutrition?
I'll offer them sometimes a meal plan. It kind of depends on how customized it needs to be for them, but I'll offer them some healthy eating options based on their body type, their weight, their goals and things like that. So we can kind of put together some type of meal plan or some nutritional information for them to kind of follow along with it, so that we're hitting it from both sides.
Sometimes people look at nutrition as a starvation method. I don't want to be fat, I want to drop some weight. But really, the benefits of that fat loss come from better performance and training with you, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're not fueled and you can't come in here and perform optimally, then you really don't get those benefits in the long run of adding good lean muscle and having that fat drop, because you come in tired, oh, I'm dieting so hard or whatever, right? Probably
True.
pretty common.
True.
So that's awesome. Okay, now when we talk about what you do, there are a ton of trainers in the world, right? We're still here in Utah. Matter of fact, I'm kind of losing track of cities. Where are we at?
We're in, let's see, specifically here we're in Sandy,
In
Utah,
Sandy, okay.
or Salt Lake County.
All right. So we're still in northern Utah, but so we're in Sandy. So there are tons of trainers, I'm
Yeah.
guessing, right? So what makes Nicole the one that I need to train with?
You know, I think I relate to a lot of people. I've been that stay-at-home mom who had some anxiety and depression, and I was overweight, and I just needed something. So I was on some medication, and I had had enough. So I just started kind of on my own, walking, then running, then finding CrossFit, then, you know, just continuing to kind of build myself up and my confidence.
So I'm gonna come back to that, because I think
Yeah.
that's really, really important. You know, the approach you mentioned. So my wife and I have 6 kids, and she's really never had any of those challenges. She puts on the baby weight like every mom, and she has to work to get that off. But she's very tall and very lean naturally, so it was never really a lot of a struggle. But you hit something I think is going to really strike a chord with a lot of women out there. And that is things that kind of go unseen and unspoken, right? Postpartum depression, or just anxiety about the weight that you put on. How do I go about it? I'm now a busy mom. I don't get any sleep, and I'm just eating when or what I can. And you dealt with that.
Absolutely.
So elaborate a little bit, because if you don't mind, if it's okay, I'm going to get a little bit personal with you.
Okay.
So you have 3 boys.
I do.
So what was this is going to sound terrible, what was your average weight gain per baby?
Oh, my
because you're itty
goodness.
bitty, you're 5'4",
Yeah.
right?
I think my first was the most, and that was about 35, 40 pounds.
Okay, so
Yeah.
40 pounds on your frame, that's about what
Yeah.
my wife's going to shoot me for saying it. My wife is 5'10", but I think she averaged about
Yeah.
40 pounds or so
Yeah.
of extra weight. But that's a lot on your frame. So how did that affect you when you're like, you have a baby, because you've been active your whole life, and now, so that anxiety
Yeah.
kicks in? How was that?
Well, sure. And I think postpartum depression has a little bit to do with that as well. But yeah, you have to be used to this body. When you're carrying a child, it's okay. But after you have the baby, and all of what's left over is there, it's a little bit challenging, mentally and emotionally. So I think we just have to change our mindset and tell ourselves it took us 9 months to get to this point.
Right.
It's going to take a little while. We
Right.
need to be better to ourselves. But yeah, absolutely. And then the more children we have along the way, the harder it gets to lose
Yep.
that weight.
And you're getting older.
And we're getting older, yep. And so it does. It takes more time. We need to be more patient. But there are ways of doing that safely and building up slowly and progressively, and still coming out with a healthy weight.
Now, so let's talk about the guy side of it.
Yeah.
Kettlebells. I love kettlebells. And tell me, what can a guy, because typically it's a Russian training methodology originally.
Right.
Matter of fact, kettlebells are still measured in poods.
Right.
In Russia, that's really the weight, though we convert them to kilos and then even pounds, right? And they're all kind of weird weights. But can a guy come in and just really maximize fitness? Now, I'm not talking about the bodybuilder types, right? That's a different kind of a thing. But someone wants to get in really good shape. Can they get in really good shape with this little itty bitty 5'4", phenom of Nicole?
Absolutely. I have a lot of male clients. We always start with the smaller weights, because we want to practice the skill and get that technique down and linkage and everything like that before we increase that intensity. But yeah, absolutely, the guys dig it.
You bring up another thing, because a lot of guys, depending on their age, now I'm an old guy, so I've learned my lessons a little bit, not completely, about how not to push. But you hit something really important, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's really important for you in considering a trainer. It's one thing to have a trainer, and this is really common, and I've known hundreds over the years, that just gets in here, especially with the guys, let the testosterone go, and it's just, yeah, let's just put more load on. But you mentioned technique, because with kettlebells, like anything moving weight, you can get injured.
I just explained to them from the very beginning that safety is first when they come in here. You know, safety, technique, skill, and then strength and intent, or the intensity will kind of build with the weight upon that. I like to challenge them still, so I'll make sure that we get the skill down, have a progression, and then we'll work ladders, and we'll see, okay, let's jump you up just a little bit to just see how you do. Once that form is set and they're comfortable and confident, and I have confidence in their abilities, then we'll kind of work them up, and then we'll see.
And that's actually how you can progress them faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Not only is it a safety issue, not only is it, in the importance to build that technique, you've got to develop that core stability, but the gains will come faster as they do that correctly.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to make sure that we're focusing on safety, stability, mobility, and then working on the intensity, but then also what the goals are. And usually that end goal is just getting stronger. We can all use more strength. Men, women, young, old, we can all use more
and
strength.
Everything gets better with strength.
Absolutely. Really about going up against yourself. How much better you can do. So I'm hoping to see in this program cycle some of my ladies in my ladies class maybe getting their first pull-up. So we're developing their upper body strength, and we're focusing on that 3 times a week, and hopefully we'll see some pull-ups by then.
So how do you get someone into that mindset where you say, stop looking around, right, and focus on where you're at, and we're going to get you to amazing places, probably way beyond what you thought you would. How do you get people to get in that mindset?
So a lot of the time it'll just be a custom profile, right? I'll take them aside and say, okay, what are your goals and why? And we take that equation out of the other people, not worrying about the other people. What do you want for you, your family? What do you want to be able to do 5 years from now? We make short and long-term goals. I also like community. So in my ladies class, if they choose to sign up for that, it's a supportive group.
What you're saying is that you work with them individually beforehand to set objectives, set realistic expectations, and to work through those. Come into the class understanding we're going to have a lot of fun, and it may feel like it's really competitive, but you know what you're striving for. And guys, I highly recommend that you reach out to Nicole. I was excited to get to come here. Matter of fact, the person arranging this, there was an intermediary, and I kept getting mixed messages. Is she really excited about this, or she's kind of nervous, and she's kind of, right?
That's right.
I'm so glad that you got excited to do this, because this is really valuable. Guys, you need to reach out to her, at least visit with her, because I can tell you, having worked with a lot of trainers over my entire athletic career, it's difficult to find trainers that have experience that she does in real world. She's a mom, she's a business owner, she's been through all kinds of different stages, and she treats the training with safety, with efficiency, I'm sure she's going to push you. Okay,
oh,
so
yeah.
I don't think, I watched a workout, okay, don't expect to get in here and just lollygag,
right.
Okay, but she's going to do it safely, and most importantly, I think really fun. Again, highly recommend you get in touch with her. You can find all of her information here on the post. Rob Davis, One Blue Robot. Nicole,
Thanks
it
so
was
much,
awesome.
Rob.
So great visiting with you, and we'll be talking to you guys soon.